Sometimes the word sin carries a lot of weight. For many of us, it was introduced as a list of things you shouldn't do, rules to follow, lines not to cross, a quiet understanding that there's a way you're supposed to be. And when you're not, you've done something wrong. Not just wrong, but wrong in the eyes of God. And even if we don't say it out loud anymore, that feeling can still live in us. But lately, I've been sitting with a different understanding of that word. Not as punishment, not as condemnation, but as something much simpler, much more human. Because what if sin isn't about being bad? What if sin is simply forgetting who you are?
This is practically mindful shit. Loving myself while I'm losing it. Missing all.
The other day, I caught myself in a spiral. A thought crossed my mind about my daughter. You know, those thoughts that come in quietly but land heavy. The kind that say, maybe she doesn't respect you the way she used to. Maybe she looks at you differently now. Maybe that feeling is rubbing off on her sisters. And before you know it, a whole emotional story has built itself. Sadness, guilt, that ache in your chest that makes you wonder, did I mess something up somewhere along the way? And it wasn't just sadness. It was that familiar kind of guilt. The kind that feels like you've done something wrong, even if you can't fully name what it is. Like somewhere you've fallen short. And in that moment, I could feel myself trying to soften it, trying to calm the spiral before it got louder. Almost like I was reaching for something steady inside of me instead of letting the guilt take over. And as I sat there, a song came to me. It's a song from Jeremy's CD called Forgiven. And there's a line that goes, "No more a slave to sin." And this time, it didn't just sound like lyrics. It felt like a question because I realized something in that moment. What I had been calling sin wasn't actually what I thought it was. It wasn't just the thought. It wasn't the doubt. It was what happened next. It was the moment I believed something about myself that wasn't rooted in love. The moment I forgot who I was. And I thought about how we've been taught to understand sin as something we do wrong, something that separates us from God. And for a lot of us, we've been given ways to deal with that feeling. Either we believe it's already been handled, that the price has already been paid, that we've been forgiven, or we carry it anyway, quietly, internally, still measuring ourselves, still questioning ourselves, still feeling like we're falling short. And sometimes we don't even realize that the same lens we use on ourselves, we start using on other people too. Deciding who's right, who's wrong, who's aligned, who's not. And somewhere in all of that, we forget something simple. What we've been taught to call sin isn't what we think it is. Sin is separation from God. And if God is love, then sin is the moment we separate from love. The moment we forget who we are. And as I sat with that, this image came to me. A seed just beginning to sprout, pushing up through the soil, reaching, but not perfectly straight. Sometimes it bends, sometimes it leans, sometimes it even grows in the wrong direction for a moment. But the sun never withholds its light. No matter how many times that sprout turns away, the light is still there, waiting, available, unchanged. And the moment that sprout turns back toward the light, it receives everything it needs instantly. No punishment, no delay, no proving required. And that's what love feels like. That's what remembering feels like. We all have moments where we bend away, where we get caught in thoughts that don't reflect who we really are, where we believe stories rooted in fear instead of truth. But those moments don't define us. They just show us where we've forgotten. And coming back doesn't require perfection. It doesn't require punishment. It doesn't require waiting to be forgiven. Because the truth is, you can return to love in an instant. You can forgive yourself in the same moment you become aware. Not because you've earned it, but because it was never taken away. So maybe the real freedom in that lyric, no more slave to sin, isn't about being perfect. Maybe it's about no longer staying stuck in the moments where you forgot. No longer attaching your identity to the thoughts that pull you out of love. Because sin isn't the thought. It's not the doubt. It's not even the moment you bend away. It's only the moment you believe you're no longer connected to love. And the truth is, you never were. You just forgot. That's it for today's PMS episode. I'm Stacey, because really, mindfulness shows up in the everyday, the small, simple things that end up being the most profound. Until next time, pour it, sip it, breathe it, live it.
It's practically mindful shit. Pour it, sip it, breathe it, live it.